first over of the day for Ben Stokes from the nursery end. Thick edge, all on the ground, no one at third man. The chase is on. Starts with a boundary then, but starts with an edge too.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a genuine edge. It wasn't something where the batsman dropped his hands, pal, and let it run down to third man. It was a genuine edge. It was a bit of swing for Ben Stokes and went quite late. You see there, just a little bit of swing for Ben. There's been a few runs go down there, that right area. I think with the slowness of the pitch, I wouldn't mind seeing a gully type fielder rather than 4 slips in a row. When there's a bit more pace in the pitch, go a bit finer the nick. It's a bit slow like this, it always goes a bit squarer because the batsman has time to adjust.
First 2 balls then, 4-2. Obviously going to be a dot ball next. But the
Or a
interesting
wicket.
Is, well, that would suit England, suit Stokes too. So far he's been full, which I think is good actually to err on the full side on these conditions, under these conditions. Told it would be a dot ball. Right, that's the mathematical progression over with.
Once again, that ball though was right in that gully line, David. There's been a few go there today. I wouldn't mind seeing, I think it's Jimmy Anderson, is it a 4th slip? See there, just you can see there, just the 4th slip. If he just takes a couple of steps to his left, I think that's where the ball is going. With the way Ben Stokes is, the pace of the pitch.
You see, while you've been away, there's been that usual discussion about gaps. You know, the Ian Botham Memorial Gap lecture, where as soon as, you know, it's 1, 2, 3 in a gap and the next slip or gully, and the ball goes through the gap, as you know, Sir Ian gets a little hot under the collar. So does 1 or 2 others actually, but so they've gone, you know, for the 4 in a row. Again, very full. Just the one this time.
Don't mind 4 slips in a row when there's a bit more pace in the pitch at all. But I just think, you know, on this surface and what we've seen, the evidence we've seen today already, you know, I just wouldn't mind seeing like a gully type fielder.
Always used to be, yeah, especially in English conditions. If there was something going on, you'd pack the slips. If there's not much going on and the pitch is slower, which can happen so often, then it was deemed the likelihood would be that it would go squarer, hence the gully. So, you know, a thicker edge would go squarer. First over complete from Ben Stokes, 7 from it, 71 for 2. Getting looser and looser through the over. That was 86.2 miles an hour, that last delivery. But the decision, I think, was good. Broad slightly out of sorts, showing signs of frustration. You have these resources available if you're Joe Root. And although Ben Stokes has actually been under-bowled on that final day in the last Test match to Headingley, you know, he's one of those men, can just make things happen. But if I had Ben Stokes in my side, I want him to be involved, not, you know, at all costs, but you know, you don't want to leave him alone for too long.
No, he's the perfect guy that if there's nothing really happening or you need something to happen with the situation of the game, he's a great guy to have in your side. He makes things happen. His energy that he brings to the table. Just think the way he throws himself and around the field, you want him involved, as you say, David. And I think you know, don't err on under-bowling Ben Stokes. Probably err on the side of over-bowling Ben Stokes. He's going to go for a few runs. He's that type of bowler, but he'll get you those wickets too. And that's what you want. Wonder how long it'll be till we see a bit of spin. Roland Jones is, what's he into now? He's 6th over. little bit of seam in that there, but as we've been saying all day so far, it's been quite slow and it's pretty good seam bowling conditions. Anderson and Broad have bowled a lot already. Might be too far away.
Goes through the gap between mid-wicket and mid-on. Talking of splitting the difference, throw comes in directly into the middle of the pitch. That's the 50 partnership, exactly 52 it's worth now from 96 balls. And the contributions pretty much even, 25 to Shai Hope, 27 Karan Powell. Bit of a dabble.
A little bit of seam movement. Didn't really need to play at that, but that's why the slope comes into play. Every ball you feel like as a batsman, ball's coming in towards you. Dark clouds, hopefully we've missed all that.
Wow. Someone's put the ridge back in.
Well, that took off. What was the pace on that? 83.84 mile an hour, that delivery. But that's the first one we've really seen zip through and bounce. Look where Bairstow takes this. Maybe the wicket is just slightly quickening up a little bit. It was very slow this morning. Maybe just a bit of wind, a little bit of sun, just a bit of everything. Just dried it out, a little bit of traffic over the pitch. Maybe just... that was the first hint we've seen of it quickening up a bit.
Back to normal. 74 for 2. Do you remember the ridge? Were you aware of the ridge? Which?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Say no more then.
If it was one more, if it starts doing it a bit more than that, maybe it's come back.
But for those who've forgotten, bowling from the pavilion end, there used to be a very definite ridge, just that little sort of, just enough, just short of a length. So good length would just miss it, just short of a length, and it would bounce just that bit more. And then over the years, this is 30, 40 years ago now, but 30 odd years ago, they just slowly but surely sort of flattened it out. Still got, of course, the massive great slope from one side of the ground to the other. That would take some work to eradicate. Bit of a dabble there too. So we've had a dabble from Hope at one end, a dabble now from Powell at the other. Stokes using that round the wicket ploy that Broad so loves against the left-handers, but at least this was close enough to get him playing.
Well, as you said, David, Ben Stokes makes something happen. He's bowled 1.1 overs, so both 7 deliveries. He's gone for a boundary. He's beat the bat a couple of times. There's been an edge. All in 7 deliveries.
Did well there too in the follow-through. Well, that's the one that Broad got wrong too often, I think, early in the day. Swinging a little bit too early, a little bit too wide of off stump, easy lead. And Powell has left hundreds of these, it seems, today. But what Stokes, I think, has been doing slightly better in this 9 balls we've seen so far is trying to get it just that little bit fuller too.
There's been a lot of, as you said, Dave, a lot of Stuart Broad around the wicket. Now Stokes around the wicket. Everyone's sort of bowling the same to Powell. Just wonder if it's worth just switching, going over and bowling a few deliveries over the wicket. Saw Jimmy Anderson stay over the wicket. There is a bit of swing there for Ben Stokes as well. Just worth a try. Just a few deliveries over the wicket.
I think he wanted that to come back in. But again, there has to be a starting point. The seam position, and in fact the movement there was in the end, proves that, or backs that theory up. Has a hook at it, but way too late. Good bouncer. Good bouncer to finish. That is a maiden. 74 for 2.
I'm not sure if you're a big fan of the AFL back in Australia, David, but I've got to send out a congratulations to the Adelaide Crows who got over the GWS, the Giants, today in one of the first of the finals in the AFL. Good win to the Crows. Big one tomorrow night. Geelong versus Richmond, 100,000 at the MCG.
Proper crowd. No, Shane, I'll back you up, but in ignorance.
Big one tomorrow. Geelong Cats versus the Richmond Tigers. Tigers versus the Cats.
He's selling it well. Well, logically speaking, as a wildlife expert, the Tigers should win that then.
They could.
Bigger paws. It's one of those things. I've never really been in Oz when football season's been on. I know Syrian spent time in Melbourne, various places, so that he has a rudimentary grasp of it all. Obviously, the sort of character would enjoy it. Dramatic sport by all accounts.
Great to watch. Great athletes. Those guys playing the AFL. Wonderful athletes.
That's a lovely, lovely shot. Stand and admire.
Yeah, excellent stroke. I think back to the last Test match in the 100 that Shai Hope made. That last Test match was hopefully the defining moment of his career. I think back to guys like Jacques Callis. It took him a long time to make that first 100. He made 100 and away he went and went on to become one of the greatest cricketers that played the game. I just wonder if Shai Hope, that was the moment in that last Test match. Proved to himself that he could do it, and in such a moment when you're 1-0 down the series, you've been beaten so badly, to come out for all of the West Indies to play like they did, but for Shai Hope to play the way he did, he looks like he's got a bit of class too.
Looks like he's got a lot of class. This one zips down the hill. There's a tester more for Johnny Bairstow behind the stumps than anyone else.
There's also a calmness about him with Shai Hope. When you look at him, it's just a nice calmness. He's got a good demeanour at the crease. He's obviously very talented. Quality player, but there's a nice calmness about his demeanour.
he's got it. Alistair Cook delighted to cling on to that one. Sense of relief from him. It was straight at him at a nice catchable height. But that is the line, that is the length, the little bit of movement that earns Toby Rowland-Jones his first wicket of the day.
Good ball, good catch. Just bounces a little bit. We saw one in the last over bounce. That time Alistair Cook grabs it and says, "You beauty, I got one." Excellent stuff. Well bowled, Rowland-Jones. That was the wicket England wanted, and the dangerous Shai Hope is gone for 29.
Austin Chase comes out. Healthy average, 41.42. 350s, 300s. Have another look at the dismissal. It's good delivery. Just a little bit of bounce, and Alistair Cook makes no mistake on this occasion. .78 for 3 then. He'll be happy with that. Dropped a sitter this morning, but didn't cost him much. Made no mistake on this occasion. 4 slips then. Howell's played pretty well. Just a little bit of movement. Stokes there. 4 slips, wants the batsman to drive it. Well, he wants them to have a go at driving it.
This has been a situation of being patient, whether you're a bowler or a batsman under these circumstances. There's a little bit of movement there, nothing exaggerated, but the pitch is slow, and you can see this delivery. Didn't do a lot, but it was a good line, excellent line, just about off stump. And Hope almost sort of fending at it, not really defending or just playing an aggressive shot. Almost as if he just wanted to feel the ball on his bat. But if you persist with that sort of a line, eventually you'll get the best of batsmen to just fiddle away at one of them. And that's where the West Indies stand at the moment. Ruston Chase hasn't had a great test series so far. This is a good opportunity now for him to get some runs.
That's it. Terrific catch. Terrific. Low. Driving it, takes it, adjusts. Excellent.
And that's a little bit of swing that we saw. He pushed that towards the batsman. You can see it straightening as it goes towards the leg stump. Well, that's a good catch though. Good follow through. Kept his eyes on it, not a problem. Powell batted well, 39 runs, 78 for 4.
And that enjoys batting against England. Jermaine Blackwood. Average, when we saw him, his average would be a bit higher than that. It's a good player. He's an aggressive player. It's up there and he thinks he can hit it. He'll hit the first ball happily. 2 quick wickets then for England.
Kieran Powell will be a bit disappointed with this though. Got a start again. Spent quite a bit of time at the crease. He's looking to push on. Then he's dismissed. Bit of swing there for Ben Stokes.
camera will show you. Adjusted. It's never easy, because when you're bowling from around the wicket, you're thinking about getting off the pitch. Ball comes almost straight down, so he does well. 2 quick wickets then for England. .78 for 4.
If we look at this replay here from stump level and look at the face of Kieran Powell's bat, look where it's pointing, towards mid-on, mid-wicket region. And because the ball was swinging back towards the slip cordon, all that did was push it straight back towards Ben Stokes. But that's his movement he was getting, the swing that he was getting, that created that opportunity for him.
One thing I noticed there with Ben Stokes in his bowling, he's got the ball to swing a little bit both ways. And I haven't really seen him do that since, what, Trent Bridge last summer? And just maybe a clue that he's getting more confident and he's trusting his body after that period of time with injury. Two men on naught out there for the Windies. Start to appeal, but I think he's sounded to me like there's 2 noises. Yep, signal is 4.
Well, everyone is asking if he hit it. Well, I think the umpire thinks that way. I didn't see him tap his leg.
Where's the edge? But, definitely 2 noises, but I think it was going down anyway, Mikey, so did well not to review that. Nicely played. This time off the middle of the bat.
Both balls drifting a bit down into the legs. Toby Rowland-Jones, though, apparently bowling from the end that he prefers, bowling from the pavilion end. He's accustomed to doing that for Middlesex, so he shouldn't have too many problems as far as the slope is concerned and keeping the ball outside off stump.
Good defence. This is the wicket. Just that little bit of movement, and it's not the way you're expecting it as a batsman. You're expecting it to come down the little slope towards you. This holds his own, and it becomes a very good delivery.
And that replay shows that you don't have to do a lot with the ball. If you do too much with it, it will just miss the bat unless the batsman is following it.
Just a bit of natural variation. Dowrich, Holder, Roach can bat a bit.
No need for more in Ali yet. Seamers are doing enough.
.86 for 4. Media centre there, Lords. It's a pretty good view. Single then, get off the dreaded naught. Aggressive player, Blackwood. Likes to hit the ball, he'll go aerial.
Ben Stokes making sure that Roston Chase sees the man at deep backward square being moved, just to put a thought in his mind.
Well, maybe that thought was registered, because that was wide, chased it. Swung away of it, it started wide, a bit wider. Just to be thinking about that man out at deep backward square. Good carry. That little bit of swing away. Movement to encourage the bowler. Good again. Good over, Ben Stokes, 87 for 4. Nasser.
Yeah, I spoke earlier about how Powell is driving with a very stiff front leg, and in the end that got him in trouble. I'm going to show you a comparison of the Powell drive from the last game compared to Ben Stokes. Look at the drive and look at the braced knee position he gets into, which means he has to play way out in front and lose control of the bat. Compare that to Ben Stokes, where he bends his front leg and his back leg and hits the ball right underneath him, and he's in complete control of the shot. His dismissal today, Powell, again, very similar. He starts to think about bending the knee, but then he straightens it, which means he has to hit it out in front of him, which means to a degree it has to go in the air back to Ben Stokes himself. Watch his reaction here. Firstly, he turns around thinking about demolishing the stumps, but then he thinks, really, what I really need to do is bend into it and drive the ball a little bit later. So it's only just a small change from a stiff drive out in front to bend and play it a little bit later, and that's got him out a couple of times now.
It's not something I think that you can change overnight. It's very difficult if you've been playing and playing on the Caribbean wickets.
Yeah, you're spot on, actually. Half a chance of a run out there. You're spot on. I mean, on Caribbean pitches nowadays, slow and low, not a lot of sideways movement. I think he's come here, and he's just going to have to work out a technique. I mean, he's only got one innings left, probably, so he's just going to have to play it a little bit later.
If you want to know how long it takes to make that sort of adjustment, have a word with Alistair Cook.
Alistair Cook still drives like that, isn't he? And that's why he puts the drive away, to be honest. It's a very good point. So he's either got to change or put the drive away. That's what that man Cook has done over the years, and that's how he does get out driving the ball.
Old. Told you that Blackwood likes to go after it. Well, he's chosen the wrong delivery.
Well, it works sometimes, but sometimes you just have to go in there and try to build an innings. Once the ball is doing something, you've got to be a bit more careful with driving and playing those aggressive shots so early in an innings in this country. Just one to Jermaine Blackwood. 87 for 5.
These are the wickets that went down. Jimmy Anderson had one dropped. No dropping this. Took him to 498. And not long after, Hope has had a pretty poor tour, trying to leave the ball. Toby Rowland-Jones gets into the action. And then Ben Stokes caught the ball, and these wickets went quickly. And then Blackwood trying to attack, and suddenly it's 87 for 5. It's got a slight problem here. Oh, here he comes. I don't know where the batsman's been. And Chase is the man that nipped off in that drinks break. New batsman, Shane Dowrich, not had a great tour. 4 runs, 5 runs, no runs, and no runs not out. Look at the wicket. Good drive, it was angled in. Doesn't look particularly attractive. Middle stump.
Well, Dowrich, to say the least, has had a pretty poor tour. His top score so far has been 5. Needs to get some.
Well, for himself as well. He's going to go on with lose a lot of confidence. His first class average is a lot better. It's 32, and those scores reflect.
Well, he has a 3-figure scores in first class cricket. He has 3 centuries, as a matter of fact, in 73 games. So that should indicate that he is capable of getting a few runs. And of course, he has been slated in the order above Jason Holder, and we know that Jason Holder is no slouch with the bat. So it's time that he shows the selectors that he belongs in that position.
Trying to find out where he bats in the Asian lineup. still on naught, 87 for 5. Dowrich normally bats 6, and he's just recently been batting at 5. It's domestic first-class cricket. There's your captain, Mikey. Oh. The keeper's very keen. And Stokes just wandered off back to his mark.
Johnny is always keen. Just brushing the pants on the way through.
From Jimmy Anderson. Never much fun, those. Smiling. Soft part of the hand, but it's going to have a yard and a half in front. Not quite sure where it's going to go.
I don't understand though why West Indies batsmen have been trying to leave so many balls and still the ball is hitting the bat. We saw it in the first test match at Edgbaston, we saw it also up at Leeds, and now we're seeing it here again at Lord's.
Might have done too much. Might even have been a little bit of bat involved.
Yeah, the way you saw the England fielders drop their hands that quickly, that would seem to indicate that there was a bit of an inside edge. I think though, even without the inside edge, it would have been missing leg. That did a lot.
Good over. 87 for 5. Well, more control Ben Stokes, as we've seen for a while. Just makes you think, Mikey, that after those long injuries, you really play mind games with you. Nothing much happening. Not getting any wickets, going for a few boundaries, but then today, 5 overs, 3 maidens, 1 for 8.
Well, there has been no need for the captain to take anyone out of the slip cordon so far. Every time it seems as if there might be a partnership building, especially when Kyron Paulo was at the crease, it just disappeared. Hope and Powell, whichever one thought, okay, this will go somewhere towards building a good partnership. They got over 50 runs in the partnership, but then nothing since.
It's a good line. Looks like he's getting a little bit anxious, Dowrich. Still on naught after 7 deliveries.
Toby Rowland Jones just making that adjustment that was necessary on this pitch. Quite a bit fuller in this spell than he was in the first spell, and of course this spell coming from the end that he prefers.
Yeah, that might have a lot to do with it as well, Mikey.
And of course, if you're a bit fuller, that gives you every opportunity of hitting the stumps, as we saw with the dismissal of Jermaine Blackwood.
Good delivery. It's that length you're talking about, Mikey, there. It's perfect length.
And he has made the necessary adjustment with the line as well. Got clipped through the onside on 2 successive deliveries, 2 fours. Hasn't strayed there since.
With the Maiden, 87 for 5. Stokes to continue in the commentary box. Atherton, Nasser Hussain.
Thanks, Ian. England have worked hard on this ball and they've just got a little bit of movement. Stokes has bowled a full length, a good spell. Roland Jones has been impressive at the other end. Nice shine on it. Lights are on, but the sun's just starting to come through nicely. Lords, in good bowling conditions. Completely different from when that toss came down. West Indies, the toss batted in bright sunshine. It's been cloudy since, but the sun just sneaking through again. short leg in, which is very rare for England.
Stewie Law offered you a plate of humble pie, didn't he, in his pre-match press conference next? How did it taste?
Desperate to say Stewie Law talked no at some stage. Yeah, fired up. A couple of comments, one from Ambrose before the first game, then something I wrote in the last game. Whatever fires you up to do the job. It worked in the last Test match. Find themselves in a difficult position here. There's that movement. Ben Stokes is very dangerous when he can get that movement. Leans away, and just at the last second it just drifts away from the right-hander. Bairstow's glove work has been excellent. Not an easy ground to keep. There's been plenty of wobble so far, offside and leg side. He's been very good. There's that big movement. Swinging it more than Jimmy Anderson, which says something about Ben Stokes. 87, 88 for 5. Batting coach, is he back from the nets or is he on his way to the nets with those dog throwing? Yeah, he's on his way with Chris Wokes. Left out yesterday, Chris Wokes. Toby Rowland Jones was preferred and he's done well, 2 for 28.
Got 3 dog throwers there. They've got different paces, haven't they? Sidearms they call them. Stiffer ones send the ball down more quickly. Good for coaches. You can go on forever now as a coach. Previously your arm would probably give way at about 45 and you'd be done for.
Graham Gooch first invented those things from nowhere. Suddenly turned up the net and saw him hurling it down with them. Not easy to use, I know that much. I used one here once. Darren Lehman let me have a go at it. I think Mitchell Johnson was batting. I nearly beamed him. Not a sensible thing to do. Do save your arm.
Entirely sensible thing to do to Mitchell Johnson.
I didn't have to.
Might have saved us from a whitewash in the Ashes.
The West Indies could have done differently today. They sort of got into a hole, haven't they? The run rate's been around about 2 and over all day.
I guess they could have bowled, but as you say, he got a bit unlucky, didn't he, Jason Holder, because it was sunny when the coin went up, and then at about 11:15 the clouds rolled in. I suppose you'd look back at Blackwood's shot, but that seems to be the way that Blackwood plays. One way. I thought it was a good ball that got Shai Hope out. He did a good third man on Towell, who plays in a very upright fashion.
I think in England, all moves most of the day. It's not like the Kookaburra that after 20, 30 overs, still after 40 overs, you could argue that the swing's more now than at any other stage in the day.
That's the difference to the pink ball that we used a couple of games ago. The bowlers would say that it's very hard to get a shine on the pink ball, whereas the red ball obviously is shine up, and these are prime overs now, 40 overs, beautiful shine on it.
For that reason, it might be time for a bit of Jimmy Anderson. Pulled away, fine leggers. England always have their fine leg very wide. Goes away for 4. What time did Jimmy last bowl, Richard? 1:55, so he's well rested and the ball's just swinging.
And you want to be on when he gets his 500th wicket. You want to call it, don't you?
Not particularly. I wonder if they think they got a problem with the short ball. Roston Chase has been a short leg in, which England very rarely have. He's had a couple of bounces, albeit on a very slow pitch. Better pitching it up with that lateral movement. 92 for 5.
I thought it was one of the errors that Joe Root made on that final day when Chase came in. Had the same feel for Chase as Hope, a very strong leg side field, and only one slip, which was very wide. And he nicked one, if you remember, between keeper and that slip just after he'd come to the crease.
First ever September Test match here at Lord's. Weather forecast not great for tomorrow or Sunday. Dowrich still on naught. He's had a very difficult tour. Dowrich, he's put down a couple of catches. He hasn't got many runs. 9, I think, is total in runs, so he needs a score. Oh, that's a loose drive. Movement back in the crease first, and then at the last second he flicked at it. Dangerous with Stokes moving it away down the slope. Left, but Stokes now realizing that he's going to try and leave it. Watch out for that big booming in swinger. Stokes has to make sure he doesn't start it too straight. Give it a chance from outside off. There is the in-swinger, and he did just start it too straight.
Got to be watching the ball like a hawk as a batsman here. There is quite a difference between the shiny side and the rough, and that should give you a nice clue as to which way it's going. It's going a long way, and therefore if you can give yourself a head start by looking at the ball intently.
Difficult for Stokes because of the way he leans. I reckon in the last year he has lent more to the offside, maybe through his injury situation, but because he leans so much, then that in-swinger is going to go way on the angle. Look at it, way down the leg side. Oh, that's a beauty. That's an absolute jaffer. 92 for 5. Hold it. You're going to bowl another one. It's a no ball.
It was a very delayed call from Araya Rasmussen. So delayed that the fielders started to run and change position. I reckon the umpires would have had a chat after the last game, thinking about all the no balls that Shannon Gabriel bowled that weren't caught. I reckon the umpires will have just said to themselves, we just need to be a bit more proactive, not necessarily for the ones as tight as that.
Can't control the swing and it's getting frustrating. 93 for 5. Maybe it's time for someone who can control the swing. Time for Jimmy, he reckons. Not getting loose. Time for spin, actually. I thought it might be Jimmy Anderson to try and swing it. It's going to be spin.
Well, the last test here against South Africa, I think 18 wickets in the match fell to spin. 14 of South Africa's 20 wickets went to Moeen Ali and Liam Dawson. But this looks quite a different pitch. A bit more grass, a bit more dampness, as you'd probably expect at this time of year. But if a pitch has got a bit of juice in it, a bit of dampness, then it can often turn for a spinner on day one.
Maybe an opportunity for West Indies to try and score. The way the ball's moving for the seamer, try and go after the spinner. Shouldn't be too much in it on a day one pitch at Lord's for Moeen Ali. Edged past Stokes at slip. Stokes is a brilliant slipper off the spin bowler, and even he couldn't get a mitt on that.
Yes, he would have had to have been brilliant to catch this. It was very wide, and Chase really flashed hard at it.
It actually looks a bit close there, Ben Stokes. The general rule, if it's spinning into the right-hander, just give yourself a yard back, because it's going to come hard. It's not just going to come off a forward defensive prod. It's going to come probably off a slash.
I reckon Moeen Ali bowled too flat generally at Headingley. And just looking at the field, he's got almost a deep extra cover. And maybe that fielder will just encourage him to bowl it a little more slowly outside off stump and get the batsman to drive. Maybe not that slow.
But I think that ball is the problem with Moeen Ali. I think naturally he wants to bowl at a certain pace, and Saqlain Mushtaq is trying to get him to the right-handers, because you have to deceive the right-handers before it lands, so get him to toss it up and bowl it slowly. And occasionally when he does that, that delivery comes out. Bowls the odd moon ball. With left-handers, and he's brilliant against left-handers this summer. He bowled brilliantly against South Africa. Got his hat-trick, were all left-handers. You can just fire it in on spinning pitches, LBW, DRS. But with right-handers, he's got to deceive them before it lands. Saki's trying to get it up and down. Doesn't come naturally to him.
Go.
99 for 5. Very pleasant autumnal afternoon now in St John's Wood. 29 for 5. The run rate's down. And just continue to chip away. Root would have been chuffed when he lost that toss this morning. He was umming and ahhing whether to bat or bowl. He's quite pleased that it came down in the right direction for West Indies. It's that big in-swinger. And a fumble from Moeen Ali. 100 up for West Indies. They've had to work hard. Oh, what a beauty that is. What a jaffer from Stokes. And you can tell from his reaction he enjoyed that.
He sure did. Roston Chase didn't, though. This was a horrendous delivery to get as a batsman, really. Seemed to be angling in as Stokes leans away there, angles in, straightens up and just chips the top of off stump. Almost unplayable. You'll look back at the end of your career as a batsman and think, not that many deliveries that you couldn't do much about, but I reckon Roston Chase will look back at that one and think, well, too good. He's gone for 18, 100 for 6.
West Indies captain, who won that toss and decided to have a bat first, comes in, and they're in trouble. 100 for 6. Played in an attacking way up at Headingley. Interesting to see how he goes here. Stokes is making this ball talk. He hasn't controlled the in-swinger, but he's just bowled an absolute perler of an outswinger. Leans away, you think it's coming in, and at the last second it clips the top of off. In swing and outswing for Stokes. Late movement. Starts with the outswinger. Should have been on the single there. It's off mark.
Yep, you're right, Nas. In and out, and going a fair way, and very difficult to play when he gets it right. Look at the wicket ball again. The ball before actually was the in-swinger, wasn't it, to Dowrich, and then the outswinger.
Edged as it carried. Cook thinks so. Dowrich is not waiting. 2 in the over for Stokes.
Well, Dowrich's poor form continues. This wasn't quite the crackerjack that Roston Chase got, but it's still a pretty good ball nonetheless. Stokes has got significant movement through the air in this over.
Review for a fake catch. Can you start from the front foot? The soft signal is
I was
out.
going to check this. I think it carried, but we'll just see what the third umpire has to say.
Front foot coming up. It's a fade delivery. Can you move on to the catch, please? Okay, just rock and roll it. Okay, thank you. You can load out on the big screen. You can load out on the big screen. Thank you.
Yeah, just checking. Dowrich was 9/10 of the way off anyway. Confirmation on the big screen. 101 for 7. West Indies in a whole heap of trouble now.
He's back. Cook dropped 3 on the bounce, and has now pocketed a couple. This one was a good catch, actually. It went very low to him. Another good ball. Dowrich is just a bit tentative outside the off stump and nestled in nicely.
I'll tell you who else should be back, and that's Jimmy Anderson. With all this movement and swing, Moeen Ali is a luxury to have bowling some off spin. 7 down. England need to be ruthless. Go to the king of swing. Good catch. He's taken 2 now. He dropped 3 on the bounce. So a bit of confidence for England's first slipper. Ravindra Bishu, who was night watchman at Headingley, did a decent job, survived the night. Has to stay with his skipper. Bishu's an old-fashioned blocker, and he knows that Stokes can go in and go out. He's going to have to play this ball late. There is a leg gully in. There are 4 slips, and Stokes making this ball talk. Stokes mustn't adjust too much. Some of those in-swingers he was bowling to the right-hander will be absolutely perfect for Bishu.
Well, let's have a look at the skill that Stokes has got. This was the ball before Roston Chase, a big in-swinger. And then the beauty to Roston Chase, angling in, moving away. Unplayable.
Two wickets in the over, 101 for 7. Well, sometimes Ben Stokes just takes everything in his stride, but you could tell from his reaction of that wicket that he had even surprised himself. It was an absolute pearler. This one not as good, but still pretty good. Catching is good, the bowling is excellent. Mr. Cook getting a clap in the outfield for his catching.
Said that the delivery to Chase was unplayable. The only way you do play this is by getting a proper stride in. Think of an opening batsman like Geoffrey Boycott, who would have got a big stride into quite a full ball from Ben Stokes. And by doing that, then you cover the movement. But Chase plays from the crease.
Yeah, Ian Ward makes a good point from the third man. So that's exactly what Shai Hope did at Headingley. Get out in front and try and get to the ball before it moves. The ups and downs of having a young, inexperienced side. It's what you get. 19 wickets in a day. Edgbaston, brilliant run chase. Headingley, 100 for 7. Lords. No, just going down. Overdone, 102 for 7. Well, they weren't overly happy with the bowling performance in the last game. A slowish start, especially by Stuart Broad. Dragged it round very well here.
Rob Andrew on screen, wasn't it? Now the CEO at Sussex. Changed sports, but he did play quite a good standard of cricket. Clearly boring
That
the
lad in
pants
front.
off that chap in front, isn't he?
Or he's listened to your commentary, one or the other.
Played a bit for Yorkshire Twos, Rob, Cambridge.
Full, that's a good adjustment. Previous two had gone past the edge. That one did, but a fraction fuller.
He draws batsmen into playing because of the way that he leans away. You naturally would think the ball is coming in, but then it starts to move away.
In swinger, going down, I think. Too much movement there from Stokes. Another exceptional over. It's 102 for 7.
Tough all day for West Indies. They won the toss. It was bright and sunny. Then the clouds rolled in, and it's been hard going ever since. 102 for 7. Knowing Ali will continue. I'm sure it won't be long before Jimmy Anderson is back. Ben Stokes is in the middle of a long spell. He's excellent figures of 9 overs, 5 maidens, 3 for 11. We're going to have a change here. It's flashed away. It's the second time that the batsmen have flashed one past Ben Stokes. Michael Holding is alongside Shane Warne.
Yeah, Nasser Hussain isn't too far away because you would want to call this 500 wickets for Jimmy Anderson. So he's close by. As soon as Jimmy comes back, I'll hand the mic to him. Yeah, another 4 for the West Indies. They'll need every run that they can get from here on.
Go in.
Moeen Ali into his third over. I would tend to agree with the sentiment that the seamers should be bowling at this stage, though. The ball is swinging. It has certainly swung a lot more since lunch.
Oh!
No real turn there for Moeen Ali. He's losing up,
Very good, Bob.
as he should. 106 for 7. Ben Stokes, 9 overs, 5 maidens, 3 for 11. Another bowler that when he gets it right, he gets lots of wickets. Similar to Stuart Broad.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mike. I reckon his first over went for 7 too, Ben Stokes. His first ball went for 4. Since then, he's got 3 for 4. He's a man that you can't keep out of the game. He's a good man to have. He brings a lot of energy to the table as well. Always something happens when he's got the ball in his hand.
Suppose he'll be happy that he lost the toss. Joe Root didn't have a decision to make, and it has worked out quite well for him. Anderson started the rot. Then there was a bit of a brief recovery. Powell and Shai Hope got a partnership together, but a partnership of just over 50. That's what I was referring to. No partnerships. One partnership of 56. That's it.
I probably got to take some of the blame for that and apologise to you, Mikey, for Shai Hope. I was just saying how calm he looks and what such a great player he's becoming. Maybe the 100 in the last Test match is the moment for him to really go on. Next ball out. So I've got to apologise to you, Mike.
Don't worry about that, Warnie. A lot of us have built people up, whether they're batting or bowling or even the wicket keeper at times, to regret it the next delivery or not too long after. Well, this will be close. If he hits, he's gone. He missed. I've seen some bad running from the West Indies in this series so far. That was another example.
Hesitation, had the pause there. Looked like if he hit the stumps, he was gone. Yeah, well out. Well out. Just the hesitation. Just about hit it straight to the fielder too. And ran. On Jones, it was close.
It's 107 for 7. Long conversation between Ben Stokes and Jimmy Anderson. Both of them in the slip cordon. Ben Stokes and Jimmy Anderson, you'd perhaps have to say, are the two better catchers, the slow bowlers in this England team. Moeen Ali continues. He'd have been hoping for a thin edge there, Moeen Ali, when he threw it that wide. Got enough bat to get it wide of the second slip.
Moeen Ali bowling this pavilion end. We'll get a little bit of natural variation. Or just throwing the hands at that one. There's a big gap there at point. We'll get a bit of natural variation. I want to slide on. Get him before the seamers come on, Mikey.
Maybe that's what Joe Root is thinking. They'll try and attack Moeen Ali and he'll get a wicket or two. Just about got his foot back behind the line. It's 109 for 7. End of that over, we saw Moeen Ali leaving the field. That could signal Jimmy Anderson coming into the attack from the pavilion end. I'm being informed that the substitute fielder is Finn Hudson-Prentice. No simple names like Peter Smith these days. Good opportunity for him to get out onto the field, though, during an international game. Where have they placed him? Backward point. Well, we haven't heard that too often. No ball, and as Erasmus says, can you believe it? Not many extras, just one leg by, and that was the second no ball. Oh, that's good luck. Very fortunate. Inside edge goes for 4.
Wow, that was close from live. It looked like it was just ripping all the 3 pegs out of the ground. Late swing from Stokes. Issue with the inside edge. Look at this late. Oh. Races away to the boundary. Ben Stokes can't believe it either. It was hammering into the stumps.
There's no fine leg. There's a deep backward square leg because there's a leg slip in place. That's missing. Oh, that was a no ball that was called. The return crease, not the front foot. And not allowed to touch that return crease. %114. Jimmy Anderson was loosening up a few minutes ago. He has the ball in his hands, and Nasser Hussain has disappeared. Where is he? .499 wickets. Just 1 to go. And that has lifted the spirits of the crowd for a few moments when they realized it was Jimmy Anderson. 4 slips await. No forward short leg. Could use one of those as well for the inside edge.
Thinking back to the 2005 Ashes Test match here, Mikey, Glenn McGrath took his 500th wicket here. Marcus Trescothick was caught Justin Langer at 3rd slip. Too many people in that 500 club, but Jimmy Anderson only 1 away.
That was close. all just waiting on that sound, that little tickle. Everyone in the stands are living the moment. Lots of oohs and ahs. Four dot balls, they are getting excited in the stands. Not really paying too much attention up there on the balcony as to what's happening in the middle. Still planning, looking forward, not just looking at Jimmy Anderson's 500th wicket. Last ball. A Maiden over. That's the next best thing. 114 for 7. Ben Stokes wouldn't mind getting another couple of wickets himself to get 5 in this innings. Moeen Ali is on the field, of course. He's in that leg slip position. There's no Stuart Broad though, still off the field. Sore heel. Oh, that swung again.
Oh, big late swing again from Ben Stokes. Looked like it was going to be a full toss. Suddenly it just went really late. So the crowd were giving lots of oohs and ahs. There's still plenty of oohs and ahs out in the field, Mikey.
Oh, much too wide the last two deliveries. Been a long stint at the bowling crease for Ben Stokes. Just a couple more deliveries and he would have bowled 12 overs on the trot. Got bat and ball this time, Bishu.
It's a big spell, isn't it? 12 overs straight. A good one, though. 3 wickets, picked up 3 wickets. First over went for 7. Boundary off his first delivery. He's got 3 for 18 off 11.5. It's been an excellent spell for Ben Stokes.
One 5 for 7. It's Jimmy Anderson time again. Bishu on strike. Different plans this time, of course. The last over it was Holder that was on strike. Managed to get through a maiden over. Left-handed Bishu on strike this time. Similar field, same 4 slips. Again, no forward short leg. Trying too hard, not quite getting it right, Jimmy Anderson. Round the wicket now for Jimmy Anderson. Almost again, not quite.
Tees at 4:10 local time. It's now 4:08. So Jimmy Anderson's got a couple of deliveries left. The tea break. Just a little bit of movement. There's a little bit of swing there for Jimmy Anderson.
Apparently the ball is doing too much. Another play and a miss. Another maiden over. Number 500 still eludes. 115 for 7. He'll have to now think about the possibility of it coming after tea now. Jimmy Anderson won't get another opportunity before tea. Stokes continues. Get a good rest after this one, would think. This is his 14th over on the trot. That's a half a run. Not too sure why they are thinking that there's a run there.
He's having a giggle about thinking about running between the wickets, and I can't help but always think about Michael Slater, who opened the batting for Australia. He generally thought if he hit it in the middle of the bat that he had to get a run for it. It went straight to the fielder or not. And Mark Taylor used to run him out all the time.
Edged. Oh, another one goes down.
Oh, Stokes really putting in the big ones. It's his 13th over on the trot, as Michael Holding said. And his 14th over, sorry, on the trot. Correction. 13th
You're right,
over on the trot. And this was a nice height to catch to Joe Root at second slip. Just moved a fraction late. He's normally got a good pair of hands, Joe Root.
Found the gap. Lofted but behind square. 4 runs.
How many times has that happened? Wicket drop catch, and the next ball, the boundary comes. That was in the air again from Holder. He's living dangerously here. He's on 9. It's his first boundary. He's had a few in the air, and there's been a bit of iffy running too. Well, one delivery to go for T. Ben Stokes has beat the bat, had a drop catch in this last over. He's bowled 13 overs on the bounce. He's got 3 for 22. Can he do something special with this last cherry before tea?
I think we all heard umpire saying over and tea. A bit of relief for the West Indian batsmen. A bit of rest for Ben Stokes, having bowled 13 overs on the trot. 13 very good overs though. 3 for 22 from that spell. That has contributed greatly to the West Indies being in a precarious position. 119 for 7.
Yeah, England have been pretty good. 119-7, as you say, Mikey. They'll be very happy in that situation. West Indies won the toss and elected to bat. It's been a little bit unlucky, Holder. When they made that decision, the sun was out. By the time they got out there, the lights were on, it was overcast, and the balls swung around and nipped around a little bit. One big partnership, need the tail to wag. Try and post some sort of score.
So the West Indies, having won the toss this morning, decided to bat first. Brathwaite went pretty early. Then they had another wicket going very quickly, Kyle Hope. Then a bit of a partnership, Powell and Shai Hope, but not much since then.
They're the bowlers. Anderson with 2 and Roland Jones with 2, and Ben Stokes, that 13 over spell on the bounce all in a row. He's got 3 for 22. All the bowlers have been pretty good. Well, third session about to start. Jimmy Anderson smiling because he's on 499 test match wickets. Only one more to join that 500 club. England are in a good position, 119 for 7. Just a reminder that the West Indies won the toss and elected to bat. And England have been pretty good, even though they've put down a couple in the field. They're still in a very good position here, having the West Indies 119 for 7. Jimmy Anderson's taking his jumper off, taking his sweater off, so he's going to start proceedings. England will be feeling pretty good about themselves. This partnership's worth 18 so far between Holder and Bishu. And they need the tail to wag, and they need one big partnership. Haven't had anything really of good substance through the day. It's been a pretty good day for England. Athers, you must be happy.
Sure has, yeah. Ball has swung throughout the day. Feel a little bit for Jason Holder. When he won the toss this morning, it was a nice day, and very quickly wasn't. Been a good bowling day, really, for the most part. And, all eyes on this man now. 499. Ball in hand, swinging conditions, lower ordering.
Here we go, the crowd's into it too. Big away swinger to start with. You can feel the crowd riding every ball from Jimmy Anderson. Still plenty of swing. The lights are on. It's still overcast. It's a tough one, that, wasn't it? When the toss was there, the sun was out. It looked a pretty good wicket. We knew it was going to be a bit slow. When the West Indies batsman came out, it was overcast. The lights came on pretty quickly after that. Since then, the ball's hooped around. He's continuing with that away swing to left-hander. You see Jimmy Anderson try and set the bat left-handers up by taking away, and then just the odd one coming back in. Still plenty there.
Perfect seam position, that. Plenty of movement. He'll just try and inch it closer towards Bishu. Try and get him to play. Maybe a bit fuller as well. Lights are still on, and we always reckon it does a bit more under lights.
Closer, as Michael Atherton was saying. It's just getting closer and closer. When's that in swinger going to come? Pretty hard to see out of there, isn't it? We've got the glass on and tiny little binoculars. Oh.
You remember yours? They've got it down here. Gayle, 2004. Your 500. You remember it?
Yeah, I remember the test match in Gayle. It was, I remember I had my sabbatical for a year. I was out in 2003. Came back, so it was my first test match back playing test match cricket, and that was a real big turner at Gayle. Oh, that's a peach. And, that was just turning big time, and it was quite hard work into the footmarks for the left-hander.
You've no idea, have you? You cannot remember how you got that 500 wicket. You're nudging Richard, our statistician.
Saying, how did I get him out? I must admit, I was just asking. I can't remember. I should, I know. Come on, Shane. Come on, Jimmy. That's the over. It's 119 for 7.
Well, I remember your 700th because I was on commentary. MCG Boxing Day. Strauss, wasn't it? 700.
I remember that one. Yeah, that was bowled at the MCG, the 700.
I call that one for us.
Did you give it a bit of oomph? Huh?
No, I can't remember. I remember the moment.
Needs, what's he need? 65 to get Glenn McGrath to become the most successful quick. Well, Ben Stokes continue. Before tea, he bowled 13 overs straight, 5 maidens, 3 for 22. He's going to keep going. He's one of those guys. He's got so much energy when he comes, what he brings to the table, doesn't he? When it's in the field, he's diving around, he's trying to create something. with the ball. He always, his ball swinging, something happens. He either goes for a few runs or he gets a run of wickets.
Well, I know you weren't at Headingley, Chen. That was the curious thing, really, that England needed wickets on that last day, and Stokes bowled 5 overs. It was very, very odd why he was off Joe's radar on that final day, but he was making up for it today. How did you get him? Just looked at the scoreboard. Tilly Karatne, 500.
Caught Simons, mid-wicket, it says. It's flooding back to me, huh? I think he tried to slog one out of the rough and it went high in the air, and Andrew Simons took it for the 500. That's right. I remember the last test match you're talking about, Ben Stokes only bowling 5 overs. I watched just about the whole of the last day, and I was curious that just before that second new ball came, Root decided to continue to bowl Anderson and Broad. I thought, oh, he'll bowl him for a couple and take him off. He just kept bowling them. Yeah, Stokes only bowled 5 overs. Very strange.
Yeah, he bowled Jimmy Anderson for 10, actually, either side of tee. That was just before the second new ball. I thought it was an interesting day because for Joe Root, especially as captain, all the matches this year have been so one-sided. He actually would have learned, although England lost that game, he would have learned more about himself as a captain on that last day, I think, than any of the other games this summer, because when you get a tight game, that's when you really learn things as a captain, the decisions that you make and the pressure you feel.
Oh, bowled him! What a delivery. That swinging ball from Ben Stokes again. The late swing.
Yeah, late swing, and Holder too late with the shot. I think he was going to leave the ball. Thought it was an outswinger, was shaping to leave, and then at the last minute decided to play when he realised all too late that the ball was coming in towards the stumps. It's been an excellent spell from Stokes. 13 overs before tea and now beginning after tea, and he's got 4 for 22. Holder's gone for 9.
Kemar Roach is the new batsman, an average of just over 10. Won't be easy out there because Ben Stokes got this ball hooping late too. Last one was a ripping delivery that knocked over Holder. Here it is again. You watch, Holder was about to leave the ball, and suddenly it really comes back late, tries to jam down, just beaten for pace, swing, just an excellent delivery. Really came back a long way and late. What a spell this has been from Ben Stokes. Oh, once again the edge, well fielded. 13.5 balls, 5 maidens, 4 for 22. Average speed of 84, and it's 14 in a row. Best test figures at Lords. Jimmy Anderson still on 499 test match wickets. 2 to get. Only 1 ball left in this over. He's going to get a chance. Oh, is that swing again? A good over. A wicket maiden for Ben Stokes. It's 119 for 8.
Well, he's on the honours board here as a batsman. If you remember, he got a brilliant Test 100 against New Zealand 2 or 3 years ago. He'd dearly love to get up there as a bowler as well. Get 5 for here at Lords and get his name on the bowling honours board. He's got a chance.
Quality bowler from Ben Stokes. Jimmy Anderson, 499. Right, I got one for you. Jimmy Anderson's on 499 test wickets, and Bishu is on 499 test runs. Who's going to get the 500th first? Oh, an edge, but it's gone. That'll be 4. And 500 wickets to Bishu. He gets there first. that's close. Goodness me, that was close to the off stump.
Well, last over you said, when's the in-swinger coming? It came then, and it almost on target. Bishu didn't pick it at all. Everything's gone away from Bishu. He thought this was going away. He left it. Woof, it's close.
He set him up so nicely for that. You can see how wide that starts too, Jimmy Anderson. He knew it too. Which way is this one going? Oh, beaten again. It's one that goes away. It's good pace. The adrenaline's pumping. The heart's pumping. The crowd's into it. Bairstow, well, he's always into it. 1 wicket away from 500 for Jimmy Anderson. He's in the groove. My goodness, how's that beaten everything? The bat, the stumps. Jimmy can't believe it either. Otis Gibson a smile. Everyone's smiling bar Jimmy Anderson.
Well, this is unbelievable. It's unbelievable bowling for a start, and how he's not got Bishu, I do not know. Oh.
Even the umpires in it said, how's that missed? Oh, and again, this is just quality stuff from Jimmy Anderson.
Yeah, it was Otis Gibson's last game, isn't it, as bowling coach? Leaves all these wickets behind Anderson and Braun, nearly 900 wickets. Anderson right on the verge, and Otis Gibson's played a big part in it. Watching on.
What an over this has been from Jimmy Anderson. Can he knock him over with the last ball? Oh, he beats the bat again. Super stuff from Jimmy Anderson. What an over. It's 123 for 8.
Well, that is a fabulous over. 5 out swingers, 3 of which beat the edge of the bat. The in-swinger that almost knocked the off-pole flat. Brilliant exhibition of control of swing. Great skill. What a craftsman.
All right, Ben Stokes. I think back to some of the quality overs I've seen. Andrew Flintoff bowled one in the 05 Ashes series. I think he got Ponting and Langer in 1 over. This is as good over as I can remember. Wazzy Makram did it. I think it was Raw Pindi. It was Raw Pindi or one of the venues in Pakistan. It was just a quality over, but that's as good as you'll see from Jimmy Anderson. Pure skill both ways, beating the stumps, the bat. Oh, Nick, and gone. Gone. It jumped off a length, and that's 5 for Ben Stokes.
And the catcher is Anderson. He's not going to drop it deliberately just so he can get a chance for 500. He snaffled a good catch, and that means that Ben Stokes now is on the bowling honours board. True all-rounder. He's already on here as a batsman, and now as a bowler. This is an excellent delivery. It just bounced a fraction. And Anderson, good hands, diving across third slip. Takes a nice grab. 5 for Stokes in this marathon spell. 5 for 22 now. Roach gone for a duck. 123 for now.
Shannon Gabriel's the last man for the West Indies. Bit of trouble here at 123 for 9. The average is 5. Ben Stokes got 4 deliveries left, and Jimmy Anderson's on 499 test wickets. Roach was the last man to go. It's a good delivery, a bit more bounce again from Ben Stokes. He really has got the ball talking. Excellent catch from Jimmy Anderson. Went slow enough that Jimmy could get a good dive at it. He got a good sider, had a chance to set himself, and then had a good dive at it straight in the middle of the mitts. Got a pretty good pair of hands. Ben Stokes, get up on that honours board. Put me up there. I'm already up there with the bat with 100, but get me up there for 5 for 2, please. Right. Here we go. Ben Stokes. 5 for 22 he's got. Oh, bowled in. Mate, that's 6 for 22. What a spell from Ben Stokes.
Well, Jimmy Anderson will remain on 499 until the second innings because of that man on screen, Ben Stokes. A marathon spell. 14.3 over 6 maidens, 6 for 22. Not that many players on both honours boards, actually. He becomes the 6th English player to get there. Ray Illingworth, Ian Botham, Freddie Flintoff, Gubby Allen, Stuart Broad. So Ben Stokes, the 6th Englishman to get on both honours boards here at Lord's. Brilliant spell this has been of swing bowling.
And he wants to keep going. He's still shining the ball, Ben Stokes. Here is this last one. First ball, bang. Means to be on a hat-trick in the second innings, Ben Stokes. 6 for 22 off 14.3 overs. Pumped up, got the ball swinging, talking. He made it bounce. Great spell of bowling.
Yep, certainly made up for the lack of overs at Headingley in nicer conditions for swing bowling. Career best figures for Ben Stokes. 6 for 22, and he leads the team off to applause from the members and the crowd here that enjoyed some wonderful swing bowling from England today.
And it'll be a pretty happy captain, Joe Root, as he runs off for the rest of the team. This is nice wicket again, just big in swing, hitting middle stump, good pace too. It's excellent stuff from Ben Stokes and England. Remember, West Indies won the toss, selected to bat, all out for 123. England are happy. Salute you, yes, Otis Gibson. Why not? It was an excellent spell of bowling. You've got Ben Stokes going to be on a hat-trick in the second innings. Jimmy Anderson on 499. Well, plenty to happen in this test match. There's the batting card for the West Indies, all out 123. Powell top scored with 39. Hope got 29, but not much else from the Windies batting at all.
Stokes 6 for 22, career best figures for him in a long spell. 14.3 overs either side of tea. A couple of wickets for Roland Jones back in the side in place of Chris Wokes, and a couple for Jimmy Anderson, who is still on 499 wickets.